thinking about what it means to do virtual shows in the time of
Mm-hmm.
COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, what is it cool to just stream DJ sets or whatever? Uh, to me, it's like not as like. So what can we in Taiwan do? Like as far as virtual sets, it's almost like, so I've been like experimenting with a lot of like streaming of live events that are happening. You know, like going to shows and like just setting up a stream
Mm-hmm.
there, and to like kind of show something that maybe can't really happen in a lot of other places, and maybe people will appreciate that and like enjoy that they can see it. Maybe some people will be angry that it's happening somewhere else. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're trying
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
We're trying stuff.
yeah. I think you touched on something that is can be interesting to explore. Like live streaming in the age of COVID, right? And I think prior to this call,
Mm-hmm.
we were just jamming on it, and how so most of the venues or online venues that artists sort of like go to are live stream festivals. You get invited,
Right.
and typically it's really not for a lot of money, or it's not comparable to like say a real sort of like performance fee. um but
Yeah.
yeah.
This, the revenue stream hasn't worked itself out that way yet.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So I wonder if you have any thoughts in terms of like, um I don't know, if you have any sort of like ideas of how to sort of, you know any possibly alternate models for that, because at this point I think everyone, at least to me, it seems like everyone's just doing it for the love of it, for the love of just continuing a music sort of ecosystem. But in terms of like sustainability, I am not sure, you know.
Right. I mean, a lot of things like the shift to live streaming, and this is from like, I've done stuff on Data Fruits for a long time, and Data Fruits, we've been like, it's like an internet radio slash show format, and we haven't really done anything on there to like do a pipeline for financial revenue. That's definitely like a pure like, hey, you want to play music, you play
Mm-hmm,
music, right,
mm-hmm.
kind of thing. And it seems like when COVID hit and people were like adopting the idea of live streaming, it just kind of followed that format, right? Of just like, hey, let's come play music on on the internet and just have fun with it. And who cares about money and who cares about this and that? But the fact of the matter is, like, people do have to care about revenue and things like that. And it's people. There's a lot of multiple forms of thought. And when you get up to like the more mainstream efforts to do this, whatever Live Nation or even like K-pop groups are doing, of like the ticket sales and stuff like that, or making it worth someone's money to like do these things and like preventing restreams or whatever, it's just kind of like a weird and awful facsimile of like the problems that were already happening in live culture, live show culture, and industry like before
Mm-hmm.
COVID. And so I think what you're getting with a lot of people is like kind of a reconsidering of a lot of the business mechanics behind like throwing a show,
Mm-hmm.
which is like good, but also uh, like hard to keep feigning like all these stream parties are like actually going to do anything for anyone in the end other than like kind of pass the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And especially for like like live performers, like live performers, like what do you do? Like there's like almost like a psychological a like strike on yourself when you're pre-recording your live set now and putting it up
Mm-hmm.
online, and like people are vibing to it or whatever and people are reacting to it, but it's like not the same like endorphin rush that you get when you actually perform, which is kind of like why you do the $200
Mm-hmm.
show, because you're like screw it, I'm gonna go and perform and have a good time and like have a connection, at least this will feel
Yeah,
good. But now you're just doing that and you're not feeling good, so people are like, I don't want to do
yeah.
this anymore.
And
And so how do we satisfy that, or how do we like monetarily give people things, or at least like redirect this like asking what we need from shows in COVID time as we're stuck in our homes.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's hard for me to answer these questions too because I have the opportunity to go out and see a show
Right,
right
right,
now.
right.
I'm going to a party tonight. I'm DJing a bar
Mm-hmm.
tonight. Like, I don't actually have these painful wrenches in my body about these things.
Yeah.
And but the artists I work with and talk to a lot do, and I like it's like, yeah, it's like another open question to
Mm-hmm.
that. Um,
Yeah.
there are a couple live parties out there that I think are doing cool things, and I appreciate the efforts of most of the people doing these parties, like Jorge with Club
Mm-hmm.
Matryoshka and the Buon
Yeah.
Buon
Shout
crew.
outs.
Like, that's a cool party, that's a cool thing, and like, as far as like, the DJ party on the internet goes, like, that's a top tier version of
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, even with that, like, I don't like, how do we reconfigure that so it's like actually satisfying to the
Yeah.